Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again today, and welcome back to Mirrorpoint. I just recorded the whole 15-minute video of this turn, and then looked over and noticed that, once again, OBS had bugged out and was not recording the video, so this is going to be fairly brief. We're attacking Orem. We've broken the place. We're not assaulting it yet, because we need to get more troops. We've got a Hollow Knight moving in. This Hollow Knight just took this province and gained a bunch of experience, in exchange for which I am sending death gems to Lothric. I'm bribing him to let me level up my Hollow Knights so that I can get this guy up to Astral 1 Death 1, at which point he becomes useful as a thug, at least somewhat. Up here, we hit a raiding Lar with a Soul Slay trap. We teleported in all these guys, Soul Slayed the hell out of him. He's dead. We stole his Earth Boots, so now we have an Earth Booster. They're all rushing down to join this army. We've got more troops moving down in that direction as well, and we want to set up, after we take Orem, to be fighting Satis. That's going to be the next big adventure, because Satis is winning, like by a lot. I've mentioned this before, and Satis has to be fought. There isn't another option. If Satis wasn't so dominant, I would at this point be looking at finishing off Anor Londo to take their resources. I would be looking at fighting Ulm, because Ulm looks like they're losing to man, and I'd like to kind of poach some stuff from them. But I don't have that option. I don't have that choice, because either Satis gets taken down sometime in the next, 10 to 15 turns, significantly down, or they're just going to win the game. Because all they have to do to win the game is claim some thrones, take that throne, and I think they're there. They've already got in their territory, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and they need 7. So they've got 4 there. Was there a 5th one that I'm missing? They're very, very close. That one's 5. That one's 6. And yeah, there's a lot of places they could go that could potentially get them the win. They're very close, and more importantly, they're just huge. So if they get into the late game, they're going to win just by spamming out Wraith Lords, overwhelming people with Immortals, overwhelming people with Death Magic. It's going to be bad. So we've got to go in. I need to research Enchantment level 7 in order to make that happen, because Enchantment level 7 will give me Serpent's Blessing, which makes me immune to Foul Vapors. It will also give me... What was the other thing I was thinking of? Thaumaturgy, actually, is what will give me... has already given me Wither Bones, so I have a decent undead counter already on the field. I can do a lot of good stuff with my magic, but I need to have that counter to Foul Vapors active, and I just need to have more and better troops, because my armies right now are a little bit pitiful. Also, I would like to get Mind Hunt active, so that some of my S4 Soul Twisters can start the war by mind hunting some valuable provinces. I'm thinking specifically of this province, because I happen to know it has a Sea King and the Queen of the Lake in it, and neither of those are Astral Mages. So I could potentially mind hunt this province, hit them with Soul Slays, and wipe them out at relatively little investment. My Astral income is good, and I have, as I've said, several S4 Mages. I've got one there, Topagog, I've got one there, I've got one over here. I think I've got another one somewhere, and I can forge Astral Boosters fairly easily. In fact, speaking of Astral Boosters, I'm actually going to forge a Starshine Skull. I need Construction 6. That's why I'm researching Construction 6. Never mind, hush my mouth. So 2 more turns, I'll start being able to forge Astral Boosters, at which point my Mind Hunt capability will go through the roof, and my Astral Magic capability in general will be very high. That will also open up the possibility of taking Thaumaturgy down to level 9 rapidly, and casting Master Enslave. Since I have S4 mages, if I put a hat on them so they become S5, and then further, if I want to, I can put a crystal coin on them that I forged to make them S6. At that point, they actually only need 4 Communion Slaves to cast Master Enslave, which is a little crazy. But more likely, I would walk onto the field with 8 Communion Slaves, which would make it half fatigue cost, so only 400, which would make them unlikely to even kill themselves casting it, because they have 20 hit points. So they can take the damage from building up all that extra fatigue, and if they're level 9, they can also then spend another gem to make themselves effectively level 10, so that they cast it for a third of its listed fatigue, which is less than 300, in which case they would only take 1 or 2 points of damage. So I could potentially fight a battle by walking a big stack into, by basically goading the enemy into bringing a big stack to me, walking onto the field and spending like 24 or 32 astral pearls, casting Master and Slave 4 or 5 times, and just steal the entire army, which would be sort of hilarious, and also sort of cool. I would want some plus penetration gear as well for that. So I would want like Eye of the Void, which gives plus magic penetration, or and spell focuses, that kind of thing. Have to make sure that I have some slots free for that sort of stuff. Eye of the Void is a miscellaneous slot. Crystal Coin is also a miscellaneous slot, so that would limit my boosting ability. And then Rune Smashers are the other way you can get penetration. They are one-handed weapons. They cost Water 2 and Fire 2. That shouldn't be a problem, because all I have to do is forge a Water Bracelet for a few Water Gems on one of my Fire 2 mages, and then I can forge Rune Smashers. Hand them out to Soul Twisters, who are carrying those boosters with a Rune Smasher and an Eye of the Void. They're at +4 penetration. The community is only boosting them by a couple of levels, so they don't take much by way of a penetration penalty from that. So they should be able to throw Master and Slave at a roll against like 11 for everyone on the field. Pretty easily, to be honest. I mean, it'll be a big investment, a big late game investment, but that would be very, very powerful. I was going down to Conjuration level 7. I'm actually rethinking that a little bit. It would let me get Mound Fiends, Spectres, but I think I really only need 5 at this point. So I'm thinking Conjuration 5 and then just book it down to Thaumaturgy 9. Because honestly, the more I think about the Master and Slave thing, the funnier it sounds. Like, that would be pretty cool. I will need a lot more research, but Construction 6 will also enable me to turn my Fire Gems straight into Lanterns to kick up my research, which will be good because my research isn't great. 600 research at turn 45, not amazing, shall we say. If we look at score graphs, we can't actually see anyone else's research except for Drenglike, and I don't remember why we can even see their research. But we can see our research has not super prospered. It could be definitely a lot better, and I would like to make it a lot better. I do have some air income, so I could actually be forging Owl Quills with one of my A1 mages. So I think Kim is going to come over here and spend the rest of her life forging Owl Quills for me. I'm casting a couple of Gnome Lores here, which is fine, but I want more Earth Gems. Next turn, I'm going to forge a hammer, which I think will be my first. I don't think I've forged any hammers yet, because I haven't been doing a lot of forging in general. And with that hammer, and I have those Earth Boots that I'll get back to the lab so I can make somebody E3. And then with the hammer, I will... Oh yeah, because actually the hammer requires E3. Oh, I have a pair of Earth Boots in there. Yeah, I'm good. I'm groovy. I already forged one. I'm thinking ahead of myself. I'm sorry, it's been more than a day since I played this game, and I've literally forgotten part of where I am. So cast, yeah, keep casting no more. Just get me as much Earth income as possible. I mean, I'm at 10 or 11 for my major gems, but I would love to have more. My Nature Gem income could be better. My Fire Gem income could be better. Also, I just realized I have 61 Blood Slaves. So that means it's time to empower somebody in Blood and start hunting. Who should I empower in Blood? I should empower... not a mage, because my mages all have better things to do, pretty much. I should empower you to start hunting. Yes, let's empower you. And you can start hunting... Damn, 337 income. Whew! You could actually probably start hunting here in Grey Mercs. Like, that would be fine. Maybe up there? Yeah, we can start doing that. And, we'll start churning out some Blood Slaves. We'll forge a Sanguine Dowsing Rod with him. And then he'll start blood hunting. That'll get me about 4 Blood Slaves per turn. Pretty quickly, I'll be able to use that to empower another Blood Mage. Well, I say pretty quickly, I mean in several turns. But that will kick my income up to like 7 per turn on average. And that will enable me to, with 7 per turn, in about 6 more turns, or 7 more turns, I'll be able to empower another Blood Mage. And etc, etc, etc. And the train will get started. So hopefully by turn 60 or so, I'll have a little bit of blood, and I'll be able to cast some of the blood spells. That would mean I'd have to research blood. And what would I want? Well, to be honest, I have death magic, so what I would want would be, I would want vampires. Blood 7 would be a significant research detour, but I might be able to get there. And if I can get there, then I can use Monhelte here to summon vampires. I may need to empower him, but my death gem income is strong enough that I can actually afford to empower if I need to. Speaking of death income, I should actually be casting Dark Knowledge as well. Let's get some Dark Knowledge working out. And you, sir. I don't have enough death gems. Okay, that's fine. We'll get one Dark Knowledge going. I've cast a bunch of it, but not lately. And so I have some provinces that are literally just unsight searched for death. And that can't stand because I need more death gems. In any case, that's the turn. I think this one has actually recorded properly. So, strategy laid out. Tactically, like I said, we're just kind of waiting. I've got this army set up to have a whole bunch of Soul Slay and a whole bunch of Gifts from Heaven spam. So if he tries to come in at me, I should be able to counter that pretty effectively. We're just going to scoot the mages slightly forward so they don't immediately eat attack rear orders. They can be as far back as you'd like them to be, but... And I don't think he has any flyers, so this is probably an unnecessary precaution, but still... If nothing else, he can probably cast Howl. I'm sure he has at least one more Lar left. So, definitely want that to be a little bit countered. So, that's the turn. Over here, I've got some Shades, some Shadow Soldiers. That's fine. Fenric can just keep doing that. Slowly pumping out one Ethereal Chaff unit per turn. And I'll see you all in turn 46. Take care. Okay, folks, turn 46. Not a whole lot has changed. We're moving troops and mages up towards Wolfen Plain to prepare for fighting Satis. We're recruiting some more units down here, and we're just holding the siege of Orem. We're not really interested in going in right now. Not just yet. We're just going to siege him. Kimaru should level up next turn, or Simaru, I guess. Quellen still has some time to go. I got my first Hollow Knight, Fomoric, back. Now, interestingly, it looks like the Affliction Resistance, which is labeled Affliction Resistance 100, isn't working for Hollow Knights because he is, in fact, afflicted. He's got a limp, and he's lost an arm. Losing an arm is actually a serious problem for a thug, but he does have 16 experience, so he should level up. He should have already leveled up, actually, but since he didn't, he should level up this turn. One would hope. Now, he is sacred, so I can apply this Bless to him. It's just not useful for Hollow Knights. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer that he's got these afflictions. It's also a bummer that he hasn't leveled up, because he should have done so. Possibly he'll do so next turn. I imagine what's happened is leveling up happens in a step of the turn order before Immortals respawn, and so he just didn't get to hit that step. But so, like I said, next turn as it comes around, he should level up. If not, then there's a more serious problem. Meanwhile, like I said, we're just kind of stacking up on Orem. I don't really want to go in because my Soul Slays will probably be mostly eaten by the province defense, by the guys who are up on the walls, the 90 archers he gets as his fort defense. And my troops, I don't know if they could actually push through effectively. I've only got so many flyers, I've only got so many of my big bros here. I don't know, we're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna wait, at least, it's okay to wait a few turns. And we're going to get these guys down there as quickly as we can. He's got leadership, what, 85? Yeah, so we could pump out some more troops for him, even. Are we recruiting some troops? We're recruiting some troops somewhere, I know. Yeah, ignore those guys. Cut them. And down here, let's get some Moss Knights churned out real quick. There we go. So that'll add to the group. Down here, we're just recruiting Hallownest sentries, just basic bitch infantry. They don't even have shields, actually. So they will get murdered by flaming arrows, but then my warrior bugs would also probably get murdered by flaming arrows, because the shells really only block so much. And of course their morale is garbage, so I'd rather have the higher morale. The Hallownest sentries will... I guess actually I should recruit lancers for that rear attack. They're not very effective, but honestly I've killed most of his infantry. So he doesn't have a whole lot left to protect himself with. If I were to hit those mages with that rear charge, like I did last time, I think they might just straight up go down. So we've got these guys, we'll send Setistar to lead them. And next turn we'll get, let's get a Hallownest captain. And he'll take these guys and fly over there. 1 turn there, I think 2, 3, 4. 4 turns. Can I wait 4 turns for this gang? Might not wait all 4 turns. Might not. Yeah. I found another site. I found the Sunken Galley, so that's another death gem. Excellent, my death gem income is up to 11. I'm 11 all the way across the board on my 4 most important types of gem. And then I've got some nature, some fire, little tiny bit of air. My air mage is sight searching down here. And, yeah, we're just kind of, the world is just kind of rolling on right now. Orem is definitely getting beaten up by man. Like, he's having some struggle. He's having some struggles. It's a hard knock life for Orem. But we'll kind of see what we can do, what our best course of action here is. I'm massing up ass green lions. I almost said acid lions, and instead I stopped halfway through and just said ass. But we're massing up green lions up here, and we will continue to do so until we have, like, a whole bunch of them. Because there's no reason we should ever stop, basically. We have also empowered Zeki in Blood. So Zeki is going to start blood hunting. But actually, before he does that, he's going to forge himself a Sanguine Dowsing Rod so that he can blood hunt more efficiently. So we'll get a Sanguine Dowsing Rod, and then we'll start blood hunting with him here in Grey Mercs. And you will patrol with your big old pile of militia. We can even give you some random other troops. I have this one foul spawn here that I got from a random event too. One of my mages was consorting with a witch, I believe. So he'll forge a Sanguine Dowsing Rod. Everyone else will just, you know, all these priests will just kind of stand around, like, being cool and stuff. We'll patrol the province to keep unrest down, and we should be able to start blood hunting ourselves up into a little tiny bit of a blood economy, which will be fantastic. And that's the turn, basically. Not very interesting. Not a whole lot going on right now. More remote site searching. I'm casting Augury a couple of times. I'm casting... where is it? I'm casting Gnome Lore down here, I think. Somebody? No, I'm not casting Gnome Lore. Oh, that's right, because I'm forging my Dwarven Hammer. I'm casting Haerdalas down here. I'm moving a Nature Mage to cast Haerdalas from here. I'm starting to run out of places to site search for fire and water, though. Now, when it comes to Astral, I still actually have some spots. So you, sir, why don't you start casting Arcane Probing? Yeah, do that. That would be good. Because from here we can reach, like, most of the nation. And you can also cast Arcane Probing, I think. The Mire of Mystery. Yeah, probe the hell out of those arcanes. And 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, there's only a few provinces that haven't been hit with Arcane Probing, so we'll just do that a little bit, make sure that we've got everything all nice and wrapped up. Up here we've site searched up to level 4, which is the highest sites can be anyway, so there's no need to Arcane Probe those provinces. And yeah, just sort of in a holding pattern right now, waiting to have enough troops that I'm confident that I can take Orem. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in turn 47. Alright folks, Mirrorpoint turn 47. This one's actually probably going to be pretty brief. We are gathering yet more troops at Orem, and the first of my Hollow Knights have been promoted, so the promotions did go through. So Fomoric here, up to Death 1, Astral 1. And down here we've got Simaru up to Astral 1, Death 1 as well. And Simaru's actually got pretty decent gear, so high defense skill, high prot. Still low hit points, because he won't hit his max of 14 until next turn. Also, I think the Affliction Resistance probably still is not working, but he's still, you know, immortal and good to go. So let's actually script him, because I don't think I've done that. You'll have to pardon if my voice is a little bit shaky. I'm still fighting that winter cough here. So he can have Personal Luck, Body Ethereal. He should be able to cast Skeletal Body, too. Skeletal Body. And Astral Shield. And then he can attack rear. Yeah, so we've got our troops set up to just frickin' go in, attack rear. We've got all our mages in the back, forming a huge, they're forming a huge Soul Slay party, but these guys should actually be dropping gifts from heaven. Let's get that there. You're all slaving it up. More soul slays. Soul slay. How many slaves do I have? I need to check. Communions are always so complicated to manage. So we've got 1 communion master there. 2 communion masters there. So you can actually, after you power the spheres, you can gifts from heaven. So power of the spheres, earth powers. We've got 2 masters there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 communion slaves. That should be fine. That should support 2 gifts from heaven spammers. Yeah, that should be alright. We're creating yet another vessel up here. We're going to cast Haerdalas. Hope to find some more nature sites, and beyond that, we're just kind of continuing on with what we were doing. So I know this is a really, really brief episode. It's only about 3 minutes. Satis is gathering the armies. He's also started to summon Wraith Lords. So that means that, as I suspected, his research is really, really high, because that means he's hit Conjuration level 7. I don't have any level 7s yet. I'll be hitting my first level 7, enchantment level 7, in like 4 or 5 turns. So he's well ahead of me in that regard. But kind of to be expected. He's also got a white mage down here. So that's sad. In any case, we're doing alright. As long as we can actually take Orem. I think I'll go in next turn and try it, because I'll have about 30 more troops there. And we're basically scripting a whole bunch of people to attack rear. I'm actually going to have them attack closest. But those guys will attack rear. You all are flying to attack rear, attack rear. You're attacking rear. You are attacking rear because you're going to be trampling through. We're just going to try to get into the mages as quickly as possible. And yeah, that will be the plan, such as it is. Fomoric. Yeah, Fomoric, come on down, join the party. It'll take you a couple turns. That's fine. Well, maybe you won't make it. Nah, that'll be alright. Okay, so that's turn 47. I'll see you all in turn 48. Alright, folks, turn 48. We're going in again. We're attacking Orem again. We're still outnumbered, but most of the enemy chaff is gone. We have a number of flyers who should at this point be able to hit his archers and mages directly, hopefully. And we have the support of our massive direct damage spells. So lots of Soul Slay, some Frozen Heart, some Gifts from Heaven. We've got Bugsy Seagull attacking rear. We've got our just our little, just our little guys here. Just charging bravely in. So we've got Quellen, the Hollow Knight with a Mace of Eruption and an Enchanted Shield. So high defense skill, but definitely going to die. We've got, that's okay. Like if he dies, not the worst thing in the world. We've got Zelion, who is attacking rear after his script. He's got a Herald Lance, he's got a Vine Shield, he's got the Blue Dragon Scale Mail. His attack skill is not great, but he might still be able to sneak in some hits on that Bane Lord Prophet. We've got Simaru, or Kimaru, who can now cast Personal Luck, Body, Ethereal, Skeletal Body, and Astral Shield. Also, his skills are slightly better, and his hit points are slightly higher. So he might actually live with the armor, so his prod is very high, the Vine Shield, the Frost Brand. He could potentially live through this. And then lots of attack rearers. We've got this one guy casting Prison of Fire. Actually, I think I'd rather just have him spam Frozen Heart, so that he can try to kill some of those archers on the walls. And I think I might be able to take it. I think I can. I'm leaving, once again, a couple of guys just to siege, just in case. This guy's actually going to run back with those Earth Boots, so because I don't need them at the moment. And these guys are going to move forward to ensure that the siege can be maintained if I lose. I've also got a whole bunch of Moss Knights down here because I've been pumping those out. So, you, sir, can research. You can cast... Keep casting Haerdalas. I'm still casting a whole bunch of sight-searching spells, still not finding a whole lot. But, you know, just trying it out. Pud can move down here with those troops. Just in case, once again. Now, we finished the fortress on Evernight, Mountains of Evernight, so we now have that, which is good. Lots and lots of gems coming out of this province, and of course, the throne, the inner throne. So my blood slaves. Why aren't you blood hunting, sir? Could it be because I never actually set you to blood hunt like I should have? Oops. That could be. That could very well be. We have a couple of lightless lanterns that we are going to give to research monkeys. Like, you can have a lightless lantern, and you can have a lightless lantern. So research starting to spike now, fortunately. Now here's the interesting thing. Man is currently beating up Ulm, and doing a bang-up job of it, I have to say. Man is very much crushing Ulm. Ulm is, in fact, pretty much dead, despite owning Garnet sorceresses that I think are probably coming from... It has to be either the Cracked Earth or Cracklands. I talked about that earlier. In any case, he has Garnet sorceresses somewhere, but actually it could be Kazdupar. But he's going to lose them to Man, and Man is set to become an actual power in this game by virtue of taking over Ulm. So, the problem is getting distracted into dealing with that situation will, of course, make it difficult to deal with Cetis. I mean, Cetis is going to be a huge bitch to deal with anyway. But, and in some ways, what I'd like to do would be to, fight I mean, what I'd like to do would be to just, like, eat this. Like, these 4 provinces right here, just, and these provinces here, of course. That would be really nice. That would be a fantastic expansion of my territory, for very low cost. But, so I'm going to cancel my non-aggression pact with Ulm, because Ulm's dead. Like, they're on the way out. There's nothing they can do about it. And then the question will be, do I negotiate with Man, or do I go to war with Man? Because I could probably fight Man. But in doing so, yeah, that will probably hand the game over to Cetis. In any case, in terms of research and forging, I've got this guy who's got both the boosters he needs now to forge a crystal coin. That will enable me to ramp up to Astral 6 on my Soul Twisters, or Astral 8 on Bugsy Seagull. Astral 8 on Bugsy Seagull is interesting because that lets him cast Master and Slave just out of the box. And it also lets him cast Arcane Nexus once I hit enchantment level 9. Arcane Nexus will give me half of all the gems that anybody spends to cast spells or to forge items. And it also just spawns some items, some gems by itself. So I was going to go down to Thaumaturgy 9 for Master and Slave. I've actually thought better of that. I'm actually going to go down to Enchantment 9 first, because we're hitting Enchantment 7. That will give us a Stellar Focus as well, which we can easily cast. And it will also give us Life After Death and the Ritual of Rebirth, although that's less important for us. In terms of other things, it doesn't really give us much for fire. Not that our fire is very great. In terms of water, it will give us Hidden in Snow, and it will give us the Hidden in Sand and Hidden Underneath spells, which we could potentially cast with a little bit of Judicious Empowerment. Can't really get Earthblood Deepwell. I mean, it requires Earth 6. The highest I get natively is Earth 2. I can get Earth 3 with a Earth Boots. I can get Earth 4 with a Bloodstone, which I'll be able to forge. But even so, I think Earth 4 is pretty much where I'm going to cap out. Which is a little sad, because I do have decent Earth income. But in any case, Astral is definitely my power school. And that's definitely what I'm going to lean on. I'm going to try to get Arcane Nexus up, but that's definitely going to require stopping Cetis. So we have to go towards Cetis. Going to have to make friends with Man, try to bring Man into the anti-Cetis coalition, and see if we can stop Cetis from winning the game. So that's the plan. Attacking Orem. Beyond that, just moving a few troops around. I'm actually saving up some money, which is an interesting change. What I may do is recruit some troops up here. Some Hallownest Lancers. Let's get some of those. And let's get some of those just to bust forts. That still leaves me 300 gold, and I think for once everybody is recruiting a mage. Except for the Mountains of Evernight where there is no lab. So let's send Fowen over there to build a lab. And yeah, unfortunately we're down to 3 Great Sentries per turn. Which is rough, because Great Sentries are super, super valuable. But, you know, needs must when the devil drives. Actually, I'll tell you what. If I could manage to cast Riches from Beneath, that'd be clutch. Because that would give me a whole bunch more resources. That would be pretty clutch. Because resources 65, it's just abominable. Just genuinely god-awful. What can I say? Okay, so, yeah, getting Riches from Beneath would actually be really valuable. I just don't have the earth magic to do it. I've summoned yet another Hollow Knight. I haven't given him really any gear yet. I'll give him this Dragon Scepter so that he can throw flame bolts at people. It also means he's a Dragon Master. And he'll, I don't know what. He'll do something, I'm sure. I don't think he has any leadership. He has no leadership. Poor old Padro. Nobody really loves him. He'll move up here. We'll forge a little kit for him in the next couple turns, and he'll go do something. Really not sure what Anor Londo is planning or hoping to do in this game. Really not certain. There was a fight in the Forgotten Woods. I lost my Pathfinder in Satis, unfortunately, without managing to infiltrate them. But you can look at the stats for Ulm and see that Ulm is just going the way of all the earth. He is dying. He's been dying for a while. He is definitely dying now. In terms of province count, mine is not super impressive, unfortunately. Needs to be better. Gem income. My gem income is actually really good. My gem income is really good this game. Yeah, I love it. I'm doing well. Much better than I have in many other games because I am site searching much more aggressively, and I'm remote site searching more aggressively, specifically. So I've got these several provinces that have a whole bunch of gem income that are kind of propping me up, even though I also have a bunch of provinces that don't really have, like, much, if any, gem income. But in any case, that's turn 48. I'll see you all in turn 49 as we push into kind of the end game scenarios, where I'm starting to deploy my... Well, I will start to deploy my Soul Twisters in ways that aren't just this, because right now they're just soul slaying, like mad. I don't even actually have any gems here. To be honest, might be worth it to wait one turn to ferry down some pearls, so I can cast anti-magic and stuff, but... Yeah, I think I'm just going to go in. They can run, if necessary. They're right at the back, and they can fly. So they can get out of dodge if they need to. Worst case scenario, Bugsy Seagull dies again, and I have to, like, do something about that. But to be honest, like, Orem's Dominion is almost gone. Just because of their lack of random events, I think. Because I think Python is... Yeah, Python's Orem. So he's got 2 candles here. 2 candles there. Nothing there, nothing. That, he's got a whole bunch of candles over here. Oddly enough. And a lot of candles right here. But right here, where Bugsy Seagull has been sitting, his Dominion is actually really going away quite rapidly. So in any case, we'll go in, we'll just try it, and we'll see what we can do. So, that's turn 48. I'll see you all in turn 49.